हेलो गाइस। बहुत दिन से मैं कुछ अच्छा एक वीडियो ढूंढने की कोशिश कर रहा जिसको मैं रिएक्ट करूँ और कुछ समझने की हम कोशिश करें। एक मुझे बहुत ही शानदार टॉपिक मिला जिसका नाम है 48 लॉज ऑफ पावर। और ये रॉबर्ट ग्रीन का लिखा हुआ है। मुझे मतलब मैंने जितना इसके बारे में सुना है ये बहुत ही माइंड बेंडिंग और बहुत ही रियलिटी को बताने वाली किताब है। और उस किताब के ऊपर एक यूट्यूब वीडियो है जो कि बहुत ही बड़ी वीडियो है। ये आई थिंक 2 मिनट 40 सेकंड की है। तो ये बहुत ही बड़ी होने वाली है वीडियो। मैंने ज़्यादा लॉस के बारे में, पावर के लॉ के बारे में ज़्यादा पढ़ा नहीं है। और मैं नए नए लोगों को भी डिस्कवर कर रहा हूँ, जैसे माकियावेली या निकोलो माकियावेली। आई थिंक वो बहुत ही शानदार है। जितना थोड़ा मोड़ा मैंने पढ़ा है वो बहुत ही रूथलेस पॉलिटिकल साइंस के ऊपर बात करते हैं। ये जो है एनिमेटेड वीडियो है जो कि 48 लॉज ऑफ पावर के बारे में बता रहा है, जो कि रॉबर्ट ग्रीन का लिखा हुआ है। तो शुरू करते हैं।
Law 1. Never outshine the master.
Okay.
In 17th century France, Nicolas Fouquet was King Louis XIV's finance.
द फर्स्ट वन नेवर आउटशाइन योर मास्टर। मतलब अपने मास्टर को कभी आउटशाइन मत करो, अपने मास्टर से कभी compete मत करो, अपने आपके ऊपर जो है उनकी रेस्पेक्ट करो। मोस्टली बेसिकली कह सकते हैं।
Minister. When France's prime minister died, Fouquet saw an opportunity. He hoped to take his place. But instead of playing it smart, he made a fatal mistake. He tried too hard to impress the king. Fouquet hosted the most extravagant party France had ever seen at his Château de Vaux-le-Vicomte. It was a spectacle of wealth and power, but it backfired spectacularly. The party was so grand, so impressive, that instead of being flattered, King Louis XIV felt overshadowed. The next day, Fouquet was arrested, accused of embezzling state funds. The charges were largely false, but it didn't matter. The king had already made up his mind.
Whoa.
Fouquet was sentenced to life in solitary confinement, spending his last 20 years in a prison cell.
भाई ये इसलिए मतलब आई थिंक जेलिसी दिस इज ये मुझे लगता है नेवर ऑप्शन मास है। इसलिए मुझे लगता है ये बोल रहे हैं क्योंकि जेलिसी से है वो, आप कोई भी हो, आपके बॉस हो, आपके मास्टर हो, जेलिसी के अंदर होता है। और नो वन वांट्स यू टू बी बिगर देन देम। एवरीवन वांट्स यू टू बी बिग बट जस्ट नॉट बिगर देन देम। यू नो व्हाट आई मीन।
High in the Pyrenees Mountains. Never make those above you feel inferior. Compliment them, support them, but never outshine them. Power is fragile. Threaten it once and you may never recover. But what if you could use this law to secure power instead of losing it? That's exactly what Galileo Galilei did in the 1600s.
Okay.
He was one of the greatest scientific minds of his time. But like many scholars, he faced a constant problem: funding. He needed wealthy patrons to support his research. So, when he discovered the moons of Jupiter, he didn't just announce it. He strategically dedicated the discovery to the Medici family, whose royal symbol happened to be Jupiter. This flattery worked perfectly. The Medici saw Galileo's discovery as proof of their divine right to rule. In return, they rewarded him with a prestigious position as their official court mathematician and philosopher,
Strategy.
securing his financial and political stability. Two men. One ignored this law and lost everything, while the other mastered it and thrived. To apply this law, make your superiors feel secure. If your boss is insecure, don't flaunt your intelligence. Make them feel like the genius. Compliment their ideas, ask for their advice, and let them take credit when necessary. Flatter with strategy. Just like Galileo, align your achievements with your superiors' interests. Make them feel like your success is an extension of theirs. Know when to break the law. If your superior is a fading star, weak and losing influence, it may be time to subtly outshine them. Position yourself as the natural successor, but do it carefully. Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies.
What? Not just people?
In the 9th century,
बात है।
Byzantine Emperor Michael III made a
But
fatal.
it does tell me there's this one important thing about human nature is that when you trust them, you give them a reason to break it. So trusting is a very it's difficult.
Mistake. He placed too much trust in a friend. Years earlier, while visiting the royal stables, a wild horse broke loose. a lowly stable hand named Basil risked his life to subdue the animal and save the emperor. Impressed by his courage, Michael elevated Basil from obscurity. He showered him with gifts, made him his closest advisor, and eventually promoted him to co-emperor.
Okay.
But power changes people. Basil was no longer satisfied playing the loyal friend. He wanted the throne, and one night, the same man who once saved Michael's life turned against him. He orchestrated Michael's assassination and seized the empire for himself. Friends can be unpredictable. They grow envious, entitled, and, when given too much power, often forget how they got there. Enemies, on the other hand, are far more predictable. They have something to prove, which makes them easier to manage. Just look at the Song dynasty.
ये भी बात सही
For
है.
centuries, ruling China was a death sentence.
Something मतलब it's all about power. Is जितना मुझे लग रहा है it's all about controlling scenarios to your good to do something good for you. So if not trusting someone can lead to something good, better, I think that is good because trusting someone can then they can break the trust and it can go crazy. Yeah.
A bloody cycle kept repeating. A general would overthrow the emperor and take the throne. Fearing betrayal, he would execute his fellow generals. But soon, new generals would rise, overthrow him, and repeat the process. But then, in 960, a general named Zhao Kuangyin, later Emperor Taizu of the Song dynasty, did something different. Instead of executing his fellow generals, he invited them to a lavish banquet. There, he made them an offer. Retire in wealth and luxury, instead of living in constant fear of assassination. They agreed. And just like that, Emperor Taizu ended centuries of violent coups without shedding a drop of blood. His dynasty lasted over 300 years.
Damn.
Both Michael III and Emperor Taizu reveal a crucial truth. Power is not about loyalty, but about control. Friends, no matter how devoted, can turn on you.
That is मैं बोला था ना कि controlling the situation, controlling the scenario.
And given too much power. Enemies, on the other hand, are already on guard, which makes them easier to manage. In fact, history shows that an enemy who becomes an ally is often more reliable than a friend. They know their past actions put them at risk, so they work harder to prove their loyalty. To apply this law, be wary of friends. They may appear loyal, but familiarity breeds entitlement, and entitlement breeds resentment. They rarely challenge you openly, but that doesn't mean they support you. Their betrayals are often sudden and unpredictable. Hiring friends can weaken your authority. They blur the line between personal and professional, making it hard to enforce discipline.
ये तो बात सही है.
Use enemies to your advantage. Enemies are valuable. If you have none, create them. A leader without opposition becomes blind to their weaknesses. They sharpen your focus, push you to be strategic,
This literally said keep to make your enemies.
and give you a clear enemy to rally against. An open enemy is predictable. You know where they stand. But a hidden enemy, disguised as a friend, is far more dangerous. Loyalty is a myth. Strategy is everything. If you want power, stop relying on loyalty. Keep friends for friendship, but work with the skilled and competent, even if they were once your rivals. Because at the end of the day, a trusted friend can betray you in an instant, but a well-managed enemy will always behave exactly as expected. Law 3, conceal your intentions.
Conceal
In the 19th
intentions,
century,
what?
Otto von Bismarck served in the Prussian parliament. At that time, many
Conceal intention third है मतलब अपने जो भी आपको अंदर फील हो रहा है उसको ज़्यादा लोगों को बताओ मत.
politicians wanted to go to war with Austria immediately, believing Prussia's army to be superior. But Bismarck knew two things. The king was against war, and Prussia wasn't ready. If he had revealed his true intentions, waiting until Prussia was fully prepared, he would have faced opposition from both the king and the public. So instead, he played a different game. He pretended to oppose war entirely. He praised Austria, condemned war as madness, and urged diplomacy. This deception bought him time, while he quietly strengthened Prussia's military. Then, when the moment was right, he struck. Prussia crushed Austria, unifying Germany under Prussian rule. As a result, Bismarck secured his position as Prussia's prime minister. Power comes from controlling what others know about you. If people can't predict your next move, they can't stop you. But if you reveal too much, you give them the chance to prepare against you.
ये बात तो सही है, मतलब तुम किसी को बताओ तुम क्या करने वाले तो वो शायद अड़ंगा लगा सकते हैं उसमें, ये तो मतलब होता ही है.
That's why the key to control is misdirection. Leading people to believe one thing while you secretly pursue another. So how do you do it? Distract with false desires. Silence can be suspicious. If you refuse to share your thoughts, people will start guessing, and often, they'll guess correctly. Instead, talk openly, but about the wrong things. Bismarck didn't stay quiet. He distracted people with false ambitions. You can do the same. Express fake goals. Make misleading statements. Flood people with irrelevant details. This serves three purposes. You appear honest and trustworthy. You keep your real intentions hidden, and your rivals waste time chasing illusions. Use smoke screens. The best deception is hidden in plain sight. A friendly gesture, a harmless appearance, or even an air of humility can all be perfect smoke screens. People focus on what seems ordinary and unthreatening, never suspecting something deeper is happening. Appear weak and unthreatening. The most powerful figures in history mastered the art of being underestimated. If you seem dull, harmless, or incapable, people will stop watching closely. And when they least expect it, that's when you make your move. People instinctively believe what's in front of them. They assume words match actions. But if you can control what they see, you can control what they believe. In war, business, and life, the less they know, the more power you have. Law 4, always say less than necessary. Louis XIV was a master of controlled speech. Known for his cryptic, carefully chosen words, he kept courtiers guessing and second-guessing his intentions. The less he spoke, the more power he had. His silence created mystery and authority, forcing others to reveal their true thoughts.
कम बोलो.
Valuable information he could later exploit.
कम बोलना मुझे लगता है कि इसलिए इतना पावरफुल होता है कभी कभी कि आप लोग बस ये गैस करते रहते हैं कि आप क्या बोलेंगे अगला और आपको क्या मन में है और वो जानने की कोशिश करेंगे आपको अगर वो इंटरेस्टेड है आपके काम में या रैप में तो which makes sense.
Louis XIV understood a simple truth. When you speak less, you maintain control. If people don't know your position, they can't manipulate or oppose you. When you speak too much, the less in control you appear. You risk saying something foolish, or even worse, revealing your weaknesses. Even simple words, if vague or open-ended, will seem more important and powerful. So, how do you wield the power of silence? Make people reveal more about themselves. One of the most powerful effects of silence is that it makes people uncomfortable. When you stop talking, they feel the pressure to fill the space. And when they talk, they reveal more than they intended. Thoughts, intentions, and sometimes even weaknesses. People will hang on to your every word. When you talk less, people listen more carefully. Silence compels attention. They begin to interpret and analyze every word you say, often assigning more meaning to it than you intended. Once words are spoken, you can't take them back. Remember, words are powerful, but they also come with consequences. Once you've spoken them, you can't erase them. The more you speak, the higher the chance you'll say something foolish. For example, sarcasm may feel good in the moment, but it can backfire and damage relationships. The more you say, the less impressive you seem. When you try to impress people with your words, the opposite often happens. Even if your ideas are brilliant, speaking...
I think ये भी मैं रिवर्स साइकोलॉजी बोलते हैं मतलब जो भी तुम करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो उसको तुम मत करो आउट लाउड एंड टेक अ रिवर्स सीट एंड जस्ट वर्क ऑन इट. आई थिंक वो ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट होता है. मुझे लगता है ये भी यही कह रहे हैं.
Too much dilutes their impact. By saying less, you leave people curious about what you really mean. Your brevity gives your words an air of hidden wisdom, something they have to ponder. They'll respect you more for keeping them guessing. Saying too much can destroy you. In 454 before the Common Era, The Roman military hero Coriolanus was admired by all for his battlefield victories. But when he ran for Senate, his arrogance and constant talking turned people against him. The more he spoke, the more he alienated others. His reputation crumbled, and he was eventually banished from Rome. Coriolanus couldn't control his words, and it cost him everything. This shows that speaking too much can't only diminish your power, it can destroy it. Law 5, so much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. In Renaissance Italy, Cesare Borgia didn't just
Very important.
rely on military skill or strategy. His greatest weapon was his fearsome reputation. His cruelty was legendary, and he made sure people believed he would stop at nothing to achieve his goals. This image alone kept many rivals at bay. Borgia understood that perception can be as powerful as action. His reputation was both a shield, protecting him from betrayal, and a sword, intimidating enemies before they even challenged him. Your reputation is one of your greatest assets. People judge based on appearances long before they truly know you. A strong reputation acts as both a shield and a weapon, protecting you from scrutiny while amplifying your strengths, making you more influential. A well-crafted reputation commands respect, authority, and sometimes even fear. But once it's damaged, you become vulnerable, an easy target for those waiting to tear you down. At the start, you need to establish a reputation based on one standout quality, whether that's generosity, honesty, or cunning. This key trait will make you memorable and give others something to talk about. Once established, spread it far and wide, but build slowly and carefully, ensuring a solid foundation. But beware, once you've established your reputation, you must protect it at all costs. Anticipate attacks on it and be strategic in defending it. Here are 4 ways to safeguard and grow your reputation. First, never appear desperate. When your reputation is
I think this is very important. Never appear desperate. कभी आप कुछ ही किसी भी एक वो है ना line desperate times meet desperate what is that? Desperate times make desperate measures. हाँ, तो इसका मतलब मुझे लगता है कि कभी इंसान को डेस्परेट नहीं होना चाहिए, वो कितना ही नीडी हो उस चीज़ का। आई थिंक क्योंकि उसको लोग गलत तरीके से आपके एडवांटेज ले लेते हैं वैसे।
challenged, don't lash out emotionally. Doing so only shows insecurity. Instead, stay composed and don't engage in petty attacks. Desperation weakens your power, while calmness commands respect. Second, spread rumors about your rivals. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Attacking someone else's reputation can be a potent weapon, especially if you have less power than they do. The key is to subtly spread rumors to sow doubt. But don't seem petty or vengeful. The goal is to create suspicion, not to appear desperate. Third, don't go too far in attacking someone's reputation. While spreading rumors can be effective, don't overdo it. If you attack too aggressively, it may damage your own reputation more than your rivals. Fourth, use humor or gentle mockery. Once you have a strong reputation, you can use subtler tactics like humor or mockery. A clever, lighthearted jab at your rival can be incredibly effective, without resorting to harsh slander. Think of it like the lion toying with the mouse. You're in control, and your rival is on the defensive. Now let's imagine your reputation is tarnished. No worries, this isn't permanent. The key is strategic association. Align yourself with those who embody the image you want to project. J.P. Morgan, for example, improved his reputation by collecting art and associating with great artists like Rembrandt. His name became linked to cultural prestige, elevating his status. By surrounding yourself with respected persons, their reputation will rub off on you, helping to reshape your own. Law 6. Court attention at all costs.
ठीक है, ये अपन इतना रखते हैं वीडियो को। आई थिंक सेकंड लास्ट वाले 5 लॉज तो मुझे लगता है कि मैंने देखे हैं। ये 5 लॉज बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट, बहुत ही बेसिक लॉज हैं, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, पर कुछ लोग शायद उसमें उतना अवेयर नहीं हो पाते हैं। ये मुझे लगता है कि लॉज बहुत बड़े सारे लॉज हैं और बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग मुझे लग रहा है कि ये जा रहा है, क्योंकि इसमें बहुत सारी चीज़ों में मैं बहुत डीपली बिलीव करता हूँ पर्सनली भी। मैंने पढ़े नहीं थे, पर मैं खुद की लाइफ को जब वापस देखता हूँ पीछे 30 साल पहले, देयर दिस वन लॉ दैट सेज कि आपको ट्रस्ट नहीं करना है अपने लोगों को। क्योंकि बचपन में ऐसा हुआ है कि मैंने बहुत बार अपने कुछ क्लोज फ्रेंड्स को ट्रस्ट किया, स्कूल के टाइम पे ऑब्वियसली ट्रस्ट किया, एंड दे ऑलवेज ब्रेक द ट्रस्ट। सो आई थिंक that is one very important thing, to never trust people and not to give them information that they can use against you, which is very important. खैर anyway, बाकी वीडियो देखते हैं हम, थोड़ा थोड़ा करके मैं और भी देखूँगा। आई थिंक 15-16 मिनट का हुआ है और अभी 2 घंटे के बची है, तो मुझे लगता है कि बहुत ज़्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग होगा। तो नेक्स्ट वीडियो में देखते हैं। दिस इज़ द पार्ट 1 ऑफ रिएक्टिंग टू 48 लॉज ऑफ पावर, एंड आई एम फकिंग लविंग इट। इट्स अमेजिंग, इट्स आई ओपनिंग। और आगे के भी जो भी वीडियोज़ होंगे मैं कोशिश करूँगा इंग्लिश में देख के उनको हिंदी में अनुवाद कर पाऊँ, ताकि हम समझ पाएँ कि एक्चुअली हो क्या रहा है, क्या चल रहा है। पर ये बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है, मज़ा आ गया। मिलते हैं अगले वीडियो में गाइस।